I started my career with a commercial EMS provider. Seems like a long time ago, about 19, 20 years ago. Spent a lot of time with the commercial provider as a paramedic, moved up to supervisor, eventually became an operations manager for Western Mass. And got some great experience with a commercial provider. Had an opportunity to come to Suffield as Suffield's EMS chief. Was here for 5 years and fell in love with the place. The people are wonderful, not only of the service, but of the town. People love what you do. The volunteers love giving back to the community. They love doing a lot for the community. And it just struck me as just amazing that so many people would give so much of their own time for no compensation, for nothing, just to help out their fellow citizen. And to me, that was what EMS was all about, was doing the right thing for the people that need it. Regardless of the time of day, what you're getting paid, it doesn't matter. You're here to help people. And it was awesome. After 5 years here, I moved on to another service and realized that, well, this is my job. I do it every day. It's my chosen career. I obviously have to make a living to support my family. That I liked it so much, I decided to stay. I've been here ever since as a volunteer paramedic, now serve on the board of directors here, and just, I love coming here. I stop by almost every day. It's a place that, it's a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful community to be in.
We need more members with the Suffield Volunteer Ambulance because we constantly have a turnover of people as they come into the organization and leave us for any number of different reasons. Some move away, some move on to other interests. So we're constantly looking for new members to kind of come in and replace the people who are leaving and who are excited and fresh.
Well, I think it's very important to have volunteers who are in town. One, they have the best interests of the town in mind. Two, they live here, and sometimes they can respond directly to the person in need instead of responding to the ambulance.
We're fortunate that half of our members don't live in Suffield. But the problem with that is that only half of our members do. We could use a lot more members right here in town for a number of reasons. First of all, there's nothing like having a few extra set of hands that can respond quickly if we have a motor vehicle accident. And if they're coming from far away, that doesn't happen. Also, we staff on a scheduled basis our first ambulance, one ambulance on a regular basis. But then when we get a need for a second ambulance, either for a second call or two ambulances at a single motor vehicle accident, for example, we put out a call for essentially what we call a scramble crew. And those tend to be people that live in town because they're right here and can respond quickly. We need people to be able to be in the ambulance and going within 10 minutes. And if you're coming from the other side of Enfield, that doesn't happen.
I love working in town because if something happens right down the street, I can be right there. I think a lot of us make a habit out of keeping our radios on even when we're not on duty because we know that if it was our neighbor, we would want to be there. And there's, been a lot of times where it's been a family member or a friend of a family member, and they're really appreciative that it's a face they know that's coming to pick them up and not just another person from a commercial service they're never going to see again.
The people that are here, for the most part, don't do EMS all the time. They do it when they can. They come from different walks of life. It's nice to see people that have other careers, other interests, and bring a lot of other knowledge to the group, not just EMS specific, whether it's, they're an engineer, they spend the day at home with their kids, or they're, a salesperson, or whatever it may be. A lot of that they bring in, there's a lot of those things that really help in the avenue of patient care. It's not all about being able to, do CPR or be able to put a Band-Aid on right. It's about being able to interact with people and different ways in doing that. And it's not just from an EMS perspective, it's from a whole life perspective. And that's, I think, refreshing not only to the service, but refreshing to the patients that we see.
Definitely these days you have to make the time to do this, but it is so rewarding. There is just nothing else you can do where you can walk into a situation that is probably the worst day. Something has happened and it is the worst day of anybody's life. You know, someone is either very ill or they've been in a bad accident. When somebody needs an ambulance, it is probably the worst thing that has ever happened to them. And when you can walk in and make a difference in someone's life and make that day better, it's worth making the time to do it. And it's not really 12 hours a day, or it's not really 12 hours. It isn't a 12-hour commitment. You can, most people commit to a 6-hour shift, but people do less than that also, a 6-hour shift a week. Okay, some people who don't want to do patient care also get involved on an administrative level. They can help out in the office here doing filing, scanning of documents, and that kind of thing. Most of our members here are EMT basics or I-techs, and we have some paramedics. But the CPR drivers and the MRTs, they are also very important to the organization. Our president of the organization talks a lot about somebody has to be the stretcher fetcher. So while they're hovering over the patients and taking care of the patients, someone like me, who has a lower certification of training, somebody has to go back to the truck, get the stretcher, get the pulse ox, get a splint, and drive the ambulance. And that's what the lower certification people do. And again, with less training, less of a commitment as far as time goes. And it's a good way to find out if you really want to become more involved as a more trained person.
Volunteer paramedics historically haven't worked in a lot of communities that have tried it. It works here because it truly is a focus on the volunteer. And we have a lot of providers who want to do more. They want to do more all the time. They want to be better. You know, we had that motto of the best today, better tomorrow. And I think a lot of people subscribe to that idea that they want to be able to be even better tomorrow than they were today. And the next level in a lot of their EMS careers is paramedic. And there is a huge time commitment on the part of the volunteers to get that credentialing and maintain it. But they feel that sense of, I guess, sense of betterment, so to speak, in their ability to deliver care, and they feel as part of the organization. They're not just here as an employee. You know, they come in at 8, they leave at 4, and it's over. You know, they're here as part of a community and giving and improving, and I think that that's what keeps the volunteer paramedics here and allows that program to prosper.
Basically, I guess I've been a volunteer rescuer all my life. I enjoy helping people out. If you're a people type person, you're going to help people out. No matter what you do in life, whether it's you're helping your neighbor out or helping a friend out, it's all the same thing. This way here, you're helping somebody who is seriously hurt or injured. And so you get the training, and people say to me, well, how can you do this? You know, and I'm saying, well, if you don't know what you're doing, yeah, it sounds difficult. But once you get the training and once you start doing it, you find out, well, it's all common sense type stuff.
Well, the reality is that not only can we not save everybody, because we can't, but sometimes the real difference we make is just to hold somebody's hand and make them feel a little more comfortable, to give them the confidence that things are going to be okay if they are, or that we're doing the best we can if perhaps they aren't going to be so okay. And sort of that human warmth. This isn't just some clinical patient. This is somebody, you know, a friend or a relative or a neighbor. And I think that makes a big difference.
The most rewarding part of a call for me is that we're there to help somebody when it's quite possibly the worst moment in their life, and we're the ones that stay calm and handle the situation so that they don't have to.
I love the job. I love working with the community. I love working with the people, and it's very rewarding when you can sit in church and somebody taps you on the shoulder and says, "Hi, you Sonny?" I say, "Yep." "Oh, you took me to the hospital." Or somebody will come to the street, give you a big hug, and not say a word, and you know what they mean, and it's very rewarding, and I love it, and I'll do it the longest I can do it.
I started here as a job, and they took me in and made me part of, you know, or made this part of who I am. I don't think it was me. I think it was the organization that kind of, they get you in, and you get hooked in that, you know, this is a great place to be, and that's what keeps me coming back every day. It's not, you know, I wish I could say it was, you know, I wanted to do this all along. I don't really know if I ever had that, you know, I didn't really know where I was going to end up in my EMS career in the long run. The organization is what dragged me in, you know, so to speak, and as, you know, they got me here, and I don't ever want to leave.
Part of the reason that I like to volunteer for the Suffield Volunteer Ambulance is the type of people and the quality of people who come here to donate their time. We're a very diverse group. We have accountants and marketing people and secretaries and moms. We actually have one volunteer that went on to be an emergency room doctor, and she is finishing up her residency right now. I really enjoy the people who come here and want to donate their time to help other people. It's a genuine concern and caring about our fellow townspeople, and that kind of person is the kind of person I want to be, and the kind of person that I want to spend time with.